Hello guys, Red here from Red's channel. This is my first English video. Usually you're gonna see a lot of Portuguese from my side because I am Brazilian and I'm non-native English to talking. Sorry about the roast English. And let's go. Today we're gonna be with the 086A. I want to start to expanding a few things over this channel, just giving times for new players or people that are playing with DCS, so work more with the community and not staying up only with the cinematics. I already do a lot of live streams on Twitch and I pretend to bring this content too for YouTube. I don't know how it's gonna work, but mainly you're gonna find me live almost every day on Twitch. So the 086A, it was developed on the Vietnam era. It's a lightweight helicopter with a lot of power, so it has a great engine. The model that is simulated on this free mod from Tobison and 8-Ball is the model with the T63, the first one that was made. Those guys did an amazing job on the 3D model, on the texture sides. I'm using on 4K here at my PC, and man, it's so beautiful that if you look from outside and you doesn't just go look right at the detail on the animation of the blades, but if you look only the details from the structure of the helicopter, you're gonna think really that it's a paid mod and it's an official one and not unofficial. About the flight model, I'm not a real pilot, so I never fly in a helicopter or airplane, but I fly in the DCS, mainly helicopters, since a little before the release of the Apache, and I keep up with the Apache and the U-81 and U-860. So I just have this experience, and for me, the flight model is really good. I will quote them because they say a few things that I'm not specialist on this side, and it's better their explanation about the subject. It uses a non-linear flight model based on the blade elements theory and a wind tunnel data. Nevertheless, thanks for Nibilot for his effort and sharing his code. Okay, stopping with the introduction, let's go for the bindings and then flying this wild horse. Okay guys, we are here inside the cockpit from the 086A. What you have to do to just fly this, and we're not gonna talk about shoot and any other stuffs because the most complicated, I think, it's of course flying this one. Right now I'm understanding the machine, and I think I can explain a few things to you guys. It will be the most difficult helicopter that you're gonna fly, I think, in the DCS. First things first, collective is the throttle from the guys out to fixed wings. Here in the helicopters, it's collective, the name. Right now, I'm using 6 of curvature. I have a X-56 joystick and, of course, throttle system. It doesn't have any kind of whirlpool, VKB, or that thing. So I'm doing with that, and my rudder pedals are the T16, I think, from Thrustmaster, the ones in the black ones in the plastic, you know, the most basic from them. So my pitch, cyclic, and roll, it's your joystick over here. So your cyclic, I have right now that zone of 7. It's a user preset, depending on your own joystick. 90 of saturation X. 15 of curvature, and the same stuffs for the roll, okay? Basically, it's the same thing. For the rudder, or my pedals, I have over here that zone of 3. I'm not using the springs on my rudder because I'm flying a lot of helicopters. I fly a lot of the Apache. I used to fly all the time since they released it. So I removed the springs from my pedals. Curvature of 15. Okay, this is the main thing that you're gonna use over here. I'm not using axis, I'm not using trim, okay? And I think you're not gonna need to use your trim over here because right now I think doesn't fit good. Only for takeoff, maybe it will be easier if you set a trim for takeoff. Okay, we're gonna go for this right now. Just remember, since this is a helicopter, we have the torque effect from the main rotor above us. So the tendency of the helicopter is to yaw to the right if you are adding collective. So I'll keep my rudder pedals centralized, and you see I'm adding power, and the helicopter, it's all into the right side. So we have to annulate that yaw to the right. You do that using your pedal to the left side, okay? If you remove power from your collective, remember, you have to do the opposite. So, do the right turn, okay, for compensate when you're flying. The position that you want your stick for the takeoffs without any kind of armaments over there, just the helicopter, is gonna be on this 45 degrees down to the left, okay? You can set up with the tree over here. My recommendation, do without this, learn without this, and you're not gonna need to use. First of all, added some power, some collective slightly. Feel the helicopter pushing yaw into the right, compensate in the left rudder, and just keep that momentum just a little bit, and we are okay. We are doing a hovering right now, hovering a few feet from the ground. You see the position of my stick over here. I cannot leave on the center, of course. I'm pulling my stick over here and holding, since it doesn't have force feedback, and this helicopter doesn't have any kind of assistance. That's why it's so hard to fly this, okay? Remember, use small inputs for correct all the stuffs over there. Don't try to use big inputs, you know? Try to predict a little bit the movement from the aircraft and anticipate that. If you use some hard inputs for this helicopter, he will go crazy, since it's a lightweight. He has power at the same time that he can be speed, agile. If you do hard inputs, you can lose the control anytime. But with my presets right now, I don't feel that I'm struggling on that, okay? Of course, it's way different when you're flying in a hot zone, in a combat. For turning, I recommend don't add too much bank angle, okay? And if you add, try to compensate with the collective over there, and just go back for the turn, go slightly turn, and boom. You know, you can do this all along the day, okay? Let's try to do a quick approach over there in the middle of the Phantoms, the right side, since we doesn't have them. Maybe we're gonna have in the future for a scenario with the 0860, the UH-1 Kiwi, and the Phantoms. So for a quick stop, this is not a Black Hawk. You see how the tendency push it to the yaw to the right side, and I have to compensate and correct to the left, like this. For a quick stop, this is not a quick stop, okay? Just to advise you guys. So it was between a quick stop and a normal landing. Don't put your nose way up in the sky like you do in the Black Hawk. It doesn't have the rotor size of the Black Hawk over there, so you don't generate too much lift as the Black Hawk. You have to be more cautious with the quick stops over this, okay? Mainly if you are high and you doesn't have the ground effect over there. So remove the collective, pull up a little bit, add collective. The way I used to do in a helicopter is to lose a lot of forward speed. I just remove and add collective, you know, remove and add, remove and add, remove and add. At some point I will just add, since I will not have too much horizontal speed forward. I have to compensate that to keep my helicopter in the air, adding more collective. So just remember that stuff. I just remove the collective and go down. So pull up a little bit, compensate that. You see how I'm struggle with all this adding and removing the collective. I don't know how it is in the real life, if it's too sensitive like this for collective, or the flight model isn't perfect right now. But the guys over there, they did a really good job on this. I never, besides the Black Hawk, I never flew in any kind of helicopter over there. I flew in a few free mods, and usually the flight models are not so good. I really like this one. So just remember, slide inputs for correcting. Don't get too aggressive. You can hit one pole over there, or no. And no, I saw one guy in the Reddit. He was flying the PS4 controller, I think. Man, that guy nailed it a lot. How this guy was flying this in a controller. Oh my god. It was nearly too absurd what he do over there. Congrats to that monster. Okay, I think we have space over here between the both buildings. Let's try approach here and go there in the middle. In the future. So one thing that you have to on a helicopter, you have to have caution. It's the stall, call it VRS, okay? So if you are almost entering the VRS, you're gonna see your helicopter, of course, dropping out to the lot, and at the same time shaking a lot. Usually on the helicopters, when your helicopters start to shaking a lot, probably you're gonna end in a VRS, so you have to nose down, recovery if you have altitude, and fly safe home. Okay, I approach it over here. That happened a lot when you're losing too much forward momentum, okay, forward speed, trading that for just quick stop, but you don't have the ground effect. So basically you're gonna go to the ground. So try not to do that when you're approaching rooftops or at altitude. Just slow down safely like you're flying a Mi-24. All the helicopters have their specifics, that what you can do, what you cannot do, what is maybe possible. If you're flying this, I can't remember if I already say that, but the Apache will be like still a candy from one kid. It will be easier, way easier. Mi-24, you're gonna see that you cannot do quick stops. U-86 you can do. A64s you can do too. Oh, I added too much input to the left side just for this roll, and you see I almost lose the control. But for the helicopters, you have to do this. Just flying around, hanging around, find the perfect setup for you. Okay. If you find the perfect setup for you, you're gonna be okay. And definitely, I think for this one, you're gonna have to need rudder pedals. I don't know if you... How is the sensation of this? Flying with maybe twisting your joystick to compensate the yaw. And let's see what the futures brings to this free mod. Usually in my YouTube channel I post most cinematics and on Reddit or even Discord. I post my screenshots. I love to take screenshots and add them on the Photoshop, trying to give them some more realistic stuffs. I have great pictures of this one, you know, and for a free mod it's really good. And the flight model, I don't know, I heard about from a friend that played in real life Squirrel AS350, and he say, hey, lightweight helicopters, you cannot add hard inputs, you know, just small corrections over there. And so I hope you guys liked this video. Give a like button, send a comment, and of course subscribe here. I used to do live streams on Twitch. It's the same address, Retalha. Mainly I will start to talking in Portuguese, but if you're up here and you're talking English, I can use my bad English with you, don't worry. I think we can understand each other's. Thank you, have a great flight with the 60A, and fly to the high, guys. Oops.